Dude, what is this? Star Citizen Week in Review 4.3 is released and we get Gaslit. Gaslight level 100. I've heard from so many people in the last handful of weeks that Star Citizen and the community is starting to like actually lose their minds, because content creators are asking to be able to like, they want to call this stuff out. They want to be able to bring it up and like call out the devs for stupid stuff they're doing. But they feel like if they do, they immediately get shut down by their own community. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, it's just shocker. Star Citizen is a bit of a mess, and the community is frustrated because it feels like the devs only care about money and are not concerned with the long-term health of the game. And the problem is right now that Star Citizen has a lot of money, but they also have a ridiculously massive enterprise to keep going with that money, and they don't have any seemingly game plan beyond hope for monetizing it long term. Because I'm telling you what, if you try to release Star Citizen's shop of like $1,500 ships, $800 ships, $300 ships, and you try to release that on the PlayStation Store, Xbox, Steam, it will not go over well. It just won't. Talk about review bombing. I mean, just you wait. You can't do that. Like the casual, quote unquote, casual audience that's not hardcore into Star Citizen already, they will not tolerate that. So they have to find some way of reworking it to appeal to the mass market where they'll accept it and they can make money from that audience. But the entire game is built around these egregious microtransactions. So what the hell do you do? Like they have to stop the gravy train now to shift it to a different track and get going again. But nobody wants to stop the gravy train because they're doing quite well on it. And it's not guaranteed that even after you switch tracks, you'll still make money. It's still not guaranteed. Like you might switch tracks and then find out that nobody on PlayStation or Steam or Xbox gives a crap. Yeah, the single player campaign, Squadron 42, that's what I mean when they say they're relying on hope. The hope is they release Squadron 42 and that generates a big influx of cash and it funnels new players into the persistent universe. It's not the craziest idea, but ultimately it is a matter of hoping that, for one, it reviews well, because like non-hardcore Star Citizen fans are going to rely on reviews to determine whether it's worth $70 or $60, whatever they charge for it. It's also not clear to me if single player gamers who play Squadron 42, it's not clear to me that they would convert into the persistent universe. They some of them will, certainly, but I don't know if that number is 5% or 20% or 30% or 80%. I don't know what percentage converts, but I don't think it's a ridiculous amount because they're fundamentally different experiences. One is like scripted and linear, or sort of linear, and narrative focused. One is much more about player agency and freedom. So they're just fundamentally different. And I also think even after you've funneled some of those people through, because we're talking about brand new players who have never touched Star Citizen before, they try Squadron 42. Ooh, I really like that. Let me move over to the persistent universe. And I think if they go over there and then they're exposed for the first time, because there's some people that have never been exposed to like the Star Citizen pricing schemes for ships and stuff, it's going to be a bit of shell shock. And I understand people who play it are like, well, you don't have to buy it. You can play without buying it. But pretty much everybody I've ever talked to in regards to Star Citizen who says you don't have to buy those ships. Like, I'm trying to think of an exception, but I think every single person I've talked to who has said that has also spent hundreds of dollars minimum on ships. And like, okay, so it's possible to have fun with the game without spending money, but you're still spending lots of money. Maybe it's because you just love the game so much, you know? And like, you're an adult. You can spend money however you want. That's fine. I'm not like, how dare you? Like, I don't give a crap. Okay. It's your money. Spend it how you want. But my point is, if you're trying, like, their whole thing is that they need to get more people funneled into the universe to start spending money as they scale it up to 1.0 and launch it. And I just don't think the more like mass market broad appeal, I don't think they will tolerate or allow for the pricing conventions currently at play within Star Citizen. I just don't think that converts well. And so I think if they want to appeal to the mass market, they need to scale down the selling the ships They need to cut out the stupid crap with like selling blades and the ship augments and stuff. They can't do that at all. Because the main like gaming community is not going to tolerate that. We freak out over like $30 skins, much less freaking like, you remember like the $80 mount in WoW went viral for how egregiously greedy it was, and that was just like basically a skin for a mount, you know, that wasn't even that ridiculous compared to like a $1,500 ship. Macro transactions, yeah, literally. And I understand people like, well, it's meant for you to buy within an org and it's not really meant for one player to buy those ships. I agree, I understand all of that, but do you think that the average person who has never experienced this stuff is going to get that? No, they're just going to log in and see, oh, this ship is available for $1,500 and they will bail and never touch it again. And they need those people's money in order to stay afloat. Like that's the problem, is that the scoff price for the Star Citizen hardcore gamer is very high. They'll see $1,500 price tag and scoff maybe. I'm not doing that. I'm not buying that. But they see a $400 ship and they don't scoff. And they're like, well, hold on a second. That looks like it could be pretty fun. And then they might even consider buying it. They save up and they buy it, whatever. The scoff price for the average gamer that's like, they're trying to pull in through Squadron 42 and through these other ventures, their scoff price is like $5. Like their scoff price is way lower. And so it's just, it doesn't translate the same. That's all I'm saying.